you.
I got you.
So let's talk about that. How do you feel after winning 2 races today?
I really can't even put it into words. Ever since I came to college, this was my dream, honestly, to be able to double. I knew only one other person has done it. Only Queen had done it before me. And it's been my dream. It's been my goal for years. So to realize it, I don't think it has sunken in all the way yet. I'm still processing it. Like I finished my interview for 400 hurdles down there, and then I just bursted into tears. But it feels great. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, and just to go off of that, to win them both back to back in like an hour time frame, like what was that like to go from one race right on to the next?
It was wild. I feel like I finished 100 hurdles, started screaming, then ran right off the track, and they were like, "Come back! You need to do an interview. You need to do awards." And I was like, "No." We made a plan yesterday for what exactly we were going to do from the finish of 100 hurdles to the start of 400 hurdles. We had like time set for everything because I work best when I have a plan and I can just focus on that. Mm-hmm. So I was like, as soon as I finished that race, I was like, what time is it? We're sticking to the plan. We're sticking to the schedule. I don't want to do any interviews. And I felt so bad because I know there's like a flow to the meet and I know people have jobs to do, mm-hmm. but I was like, I got a job to do too. So yeah. I just finished the race and went straight to the warm-up track to start getting ready for the next one.
Yeah. What do you do to warm up? What is that plan between races?
Basically, I have I think I had 10 minutes to just cool down and get a little bit of treatment. And then it was spikes on and a quarter miler excel is what we call it. So it's not like boom, 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 crazy, crazy. Like for 100-meter hurdles, it's that power control stride, build up kind of style stride. So we did one of those. I wanted to do 2 reps over 2 hurdles, 400 hurdle rhythm. Only had time for 1. But yeah, so I cooled down. I did my stride. I went over some hurdles and then it's pretty much time for the next race. So then I just went to the call room and got ready to run.
Nice. We have a question here from Ashley Coleman from Focus Media. Congratulations on the double win. Take us through the last curve and straight away on the 400 meters.
This might sound kind of crazy, but I don't even know what to say. I was just running as fast as I could. And I heard one of my coaches like, time to go. I got to hurdle 7 and I just tucked my arms in and started punching back. And I'm really comfortable hurdling with both legs. So I wasn't thinking about steps at all. I was just thinking about being fast and executing. And that's really it. I just ran. I just ran as hard as I could.
Nice. What are you thinking about after the race then?
I was just looking for my mom and dad. It's been a long 5 years of college. It's been really up and down. Oh God, not me getting emotional. But it's just really special that my parents have always been there for me. And it's really special that they were able to be here today and to see me achieve one of my dreams. So as soon as I crossed the line, I was just looking for my mom and my dad and to share that moment with them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I'll give you some time there. It looks like we're still waiting on someone to write a question in the chat. You can go ahead and write your questions directly in the chat to our reporters at home, and then I will ask the questions from there. So going back to like expecting to see your family and being excited to see your family, how has it been different this year because of COVID and not as many spectators are around?
It's been weird. It's been really weird to be at meets and the only fans are your teammates and people from other teams who aren't competing. It's been quieter, but it made it that much more special to have fans and to hear a crowd and to hear people cheering for you and to know that there's a crowd behind you. It made this meet that much more special. So it's been a strange year. I'm really close to my family. It's been tough to not see them as much as I'm used to, but it just makes me more grateful for the moments that they've been able to be here for this moment today. I'm thankful for my family and for our health, and the pandemic has put a lot of people through a lot of turmoil and trauma, and I'm just grateful to be here and grateful that we're able to be at this meet and that they're running it and, taking every precaution that they can.
Mm-hmm. Another question from Ashley Coleman, Focus Media. What message do you have for those athletes who are silently battling with mental health?
I always get these questions now. My advice is always just be honest with yourself about what's going on. I think for me, the first step towards recovery and getting better was to be honest about what was going on and what I was feeling, and being honest about how much I was hurting. And that honesty is what allowed me to seek help, to find a therapist, to get in therapy, to really put in the work in therapy of dealing with what was going on. So my first advice is just admit what's happening, and then find care. Find care. And I know that's hard. I know mental health care is not always accessible or affordable, but increasingly there are more options, whether it's in person or telehealth. And I would just encourage people who are struggling to find care that works for them, and to really just stick with it. I find it really hard to stick with therapy, but when I do stick with it, the results come. So be honest with yourself, find treatment, and go through it. You have to go through it and do the work. And it's not always easy. It's not always pleasant, but it is always worth it.
Absolutely. We have a follow-up question from Dennis Freeman. Anna, talk about, oops, there goes the question. Anna, talk about the journey you've been on in regarding fighting off depression to where you are today. Did you think this was possible?
Fighting off depression, I don't know if that's the terminology I would use, just because once I accepted that depression was something that is a part of me that I'm going to have to constantly manage and handle, and that it's not something that I'm going to be able to completely banish from my life, is when I was able to start really dealing with it in a healthier way. So yeah, I don't know if I would say fight off depression. I would just say accept it and treat it and work with it, and be compassionate to myself, and care for myself, and give myself grace to feel what I feel and to deal with what I deal with. So did I think this was possible? In 2019, no, honestly. When I was really in the thick of it, and when I was struggling the most and suffering the most, no, I didn't think this was possible. But thankfully, I just have a really, really strong support system. And I'm really, really, really lucky, really blessed to have access to care that other people don't always have access to. And I'm really thankful for all the different therapists and psychologists that have worked with me over the years, because there was a time when I would say I was fallen into despair and hopelessness, and I didn't think this was possible. But from 2019 till now, I've put in a lot of work off the track, in a therapist's office, a lot of work there to get to where I am right now. And I knew this was possible. I knew it was possible. When I got into college, I had down moments where I started to doubt it. But when I got honest with myself and really, I hate that I keep saying put in the work, but that's what it is. Therapy is work. Handling your mental health is work. And when I accepted that and really got into it, I started to believe it again. And all day today, what I've been doing with my coaches is everyone's just been with me and just talking to me about my breathing, because you'll see, if you could see me down there, I just lay on the ground and I put one hand on my chest and one hand on my stomach, and I just go to my breaths and I just go to my mindfulness. And that's been the practice that's really centered me throughout this season, throughout this year. And when the thoughts start to get crazy and when I start to get overwhelmed, I know I can come back within myself and just get centered and come back to what I know is true, and be who I am and be here in this moment. And that's what allows me to know that I could do this. And that's what kept me pushing forward today and throughout this entire year. Sorry, that was a really long answer.
No, that was great. Thank you. Another question from Dennis Freeman. Who has been your biggest influence in regards to track and field, recent or past?
I don't think there's one person I can single out. I've had so many people have been along for this ride with me. My parents, my brother and my sister, who I'm incredibly close to. I talked to my brother on the phone for an hour and a half last night, not even about track, but my parents and my brother and my sister, my sister-in-law, my coaches, past and present, from Coach Carol Lawrence in North Carolina to Coach Carol Smith-Gilbert, Coach Watts, Coach Hayes, all of the SC staff have all just had tremendous influence on me in different ways. And I couldn't be the person I am today, the athlete I am today, without all of them.
Wonderful. Message or a question from Ashley Coleman, Focus Media. Do you have a message for your supporters?
Thank you. I know it's been a really long 5 years, I'm gonna cry again, but just thank you for sticking by me and standing with me, and for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself. and for helping me realize this dream. Yeah, just thank you. That's really all I can say. I just feel so much gratitude for just this moment and everything.
Yeah.
I didn't shout him out, but I also want to shout out my boyfriend. He's really great. So, hey, babe.
Another follow-up question from Dennis Freeman from his question earlier. Is there a track athlete that you most admire and why?
Current or former? Does it matter?
Up to you.
A current track athlete that I admire a lot is Shamir Little. I think she's hilarious. I think her work ethic is really inspiring. And DeLillo, of course, too. I admire them a lot. Felix Sanchez. I remember watching him win. And when he pulled out the picture of his grandmother, that's something that really impacted me because I am an emotional person. And seeing someone be that emotional and that raw at the Olympics really hit me. Quincy Watson, Joanna Hayes, throwing my coaches. I guess those, what did I just say, 5? Yeah, those 5.
Nice, thank you. If anyone else in the chat has any questions, please feel free to raise your hand. Give everyone a couple more seconds here. Oh, we are waiting on one more question.
Okay.
What's next for you today? What are you gonna do now?
Go to sleep. I am gonna cool down. I'm gonna call my brother and my sister. I'm gonna watch my team in this 4x4, and then I'm gonna take a bath and go to bed and drink a cup of tea because I'm an old lady on the inside. That's really it. I watch some Powerpuff Girls. I watch a lot of cartoons, so probably that.
Nice. We got a question from Doug Binder here from DISAT. Anna, how do you feel like you bridged all of that gap between 2019 to get ready for a meet like this?
I'm trying to put a long story. Hey, thank you. Sorry, I'm probably like screaming into the mic. Trying to tell a long story short. When the pandemic first hit, I just took a break from track completely. Like I went home to North Carolina and I was with my parents and my sister, and I just took the time to just be, and just to, obviously it was a global pandemic and very stressful and a lot of uncertainty, but you know, I've been really focusing on practicing just gratitude. And so I was just extremely grateful to be with my parents and be with my sister, and I haven't been home for that long since high school. So I just pretty much hung out with them, and I went on a lot of walks in my neighborhood, and I rode my bike a lot, and just got back in touch with my body in a way that wasn't so performance based, so competitive based, just moving again for the sake of movement. Mm-hmm. And like I went swimming, and then I started training with my high school coach later on, like in, I guess, July of last year. And it was just a low pressure training environment. Just really, I just fell back in love with running and with pushing myself. And that time away from competition really allowed me to get back in touch with what it is about this sport that I enjoy, and to find joy in it outside of winning, outside of the meets, outside of the competition, outside of the stress. And I think having that time to say, this is actually what I want to do. This is actually what I love. I'm not just doing it because I'm good at it. I'm doing it because I am genuinely passionate about it, is what helped me just get to this point in the season. So every time I was training and it was kicking my butt and I was getting beat at practice and I was struggling and I'd gotten really sick, and every time that happened and I was like, God, why am I doing this? I just remembered, like, I'm doing it because I love it. And this sucks right now, but I genuinely enjoy it and I want to be here, and I'm choosing to be here every single day. And knowing that I have that choice and that I'm making the choice to be here and be in this moment and train and get my butt kicked and be laid out on the ground, knowing that it was something I wanted for myself and that I was choosing to do. All of those little things, and just being so grateful and so present in this moment to be here and to be at USC and to train and to be with my teammates and to be with my coaches, and just to take all of that in is what really allowed me to, I don't know, to just come into myself and to my own as a runner from 2019 to now.
That's fantastic. Doug Binder says, thank you for the long story and not the short story.
I tried to be short. That's the sad part. I'm very long-winded.
Dennis Freeman, another question from him. Anna, outside of track and field, what do you want people to know about you?
Okay, I guess a couple of quick things. I really like cartoons. I watch a lot of Powerpuff Girls and a lot of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I listen to a lot of Beyonce, and I watch Beyonce's Homecoming on Netflix when I get ready for every meet. And my favorite apple variety is the Cosmic Crisp apple. If you've never had a Cosmic Crisp apple, go get one. They're the best. I really like to hang out at my house and play Sims. And I like fuzzy socks, and I read a lot of books. James Baldwin's my favorite author. If you've never read a James Baldwin book, go read one. And I really like musical theater, and I've been listening to the Once on This Island cast recording this whole trip. So yeah, I do a lot of random things. That, I guess that's what I would say.
That's awesome. Lots of fun, quick facts there. Yeah. Doug Binder, again, do you feel like you can make the Olympic team?
Yes.
Oh, all right. We're going to wrap it up now. Thank you, everyone at home for your questions. And thank you so much, Anna, for hanging out and talking to us today.
Thanks. Sorry for oversharing.
No, you're all good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.